Hello and welcome back to Creepy Cutie Crafty. Welcome back to yet another crafting video with me, Heather. Hi guys, how are you doing this week? So, yeah, spring has definitely sprung. I'm sitting in my house. I closed the front window because there's people shouting at each other on the street because that's how they communicate. But you can probably hear in the background some birds and things. Don't know if you heard that, but we'll see. But I'm back to working on this one. This is my experimental tote bag, and I have finished this area, which is the area that I was working on. This is the Leviathan stitch mixed with some French knots, some coral stitches, I believe that's coral stitch, some chain stitch, some back stitch, some stem stitch, all kinds of them. And I think that's turned out pretty good. I like these little circles. And on the bag, I've also marked out a couple of areas so you can see there where there's going to be circles of work done later. But I'm going to come back to this. Now, if you have been watching, you've seen my my drawstring bag that I'm going to be having a go at making. And I had to go with a couple of stitches that I'm going to be revisiting here. The first one is the Portuguese, is it called the Portuguese Border stitch? Which I'll post a picture of last week's one up here, but I'm going to be doing that on the inside here. I've already done my little ladders to build on, and then outside here I'm going to be doing the petal stitch. You've seen me do that as well on the other bag. Over there I did it on straight lines. This time I'm doing it on a curve, so you can see I'm following the shape of the heart here, but I'm going to see how that turns out. And for this one I'm going to be using black. I'm going to go for black for once rather than all these multicolours and things, because I want to. Now I'm going to be doing this the double thickness, so I'm taking out quite a bit of thread here and going to be working around on that. So I'm hoping to get this bit done with the Portuguese border stitch fairly quickly, and then hopefully I'll have time to get on to another thing that I'm having a go at, which is my little sort of mad quilting for the lovely items that Christine from Create and Craft with Christine sent me. So I'm finally getting started on that today. Let's hope I can actually get on with it. I've had to print off an image that I'm going to be working from, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get it to the right size, because I'm having all sorts of issues with my computer upstairs at the moment. It really doesn't want to be a computer at the moment. It's not even anything to do with the hot weather. It's decided that it just doesn't want to. I mean, we all sort of feel like that sometimes, don't we? But I'm afraid, computer, that you have still got to be a computer. You've still got to be a printer, and it'd be really nice if I could actually do the thing that I need to do. So with this one, I'm going to do the same as I did before. I'm going to start with the outside one, then do the inside one. I'm going to do them both with black because that's what I fancy doing at the moment. So I'm going to be going like, I'll do it from there. Try not to catch it on the end there. And I'm going to try and make it nice and decorative. I'm not going to pull this tight. I'm also aware that I've been doing this tote bag for quite a while now, and some of the stitches from the previous efforts, so you can see here, they've started to come loose because I'm still working so much on it. So I'll have to tidy those up at the end before I do any photographs. But you know, it's going to be used anyway, so it's going to eventually look a bit worn out. But you know, that's how it goes. But oops, nope, I've gone through two there. I don't need to go through two. I need to go through only the one. This is the problem. I'm doing black on black, so of course I'm gonna lose what I'm doing and get myself all tangled up. But it's just not too hard a stitch to correct, so it's not too bad. I'm doing the outer one first so I can work in from there. It's going to be interesting to see how this one works, because as I say, I've done this only on straight stitches so far, on straight like ladders, so I need to start thinking about how it's going to look on a curve. But I think it's going to be interesting. And yeah, I'm using two lengths of thread here, not thread here, so it's looks nice and thick. I suppose I should have made the ladder a bit thinner, but you know, too late to do it now. But yes. Anyway, so how are we doing this this summer guys. It's being a very surprisingly summery summer over here and in jolly old Blighty. So England is very much enjoying a period of quite a lot of sun, which, you know, if that's your thing, great. If it's not, I'm very sorry. It's one of those things. It's there was a thing I read on, I think it was QI the other day, that's saying that British people spend at least a quarter of their lives talking about the weather. I'm fairly sure that's not quite true, but I suppose on average there's some people who talk a lot about the weather, such as meteorologists. But for the rest of us, it's not quite so all-encompassing. Although, you know, it is a trope about us Englanders for a reason. It's a very, very odd one. So I'm going to just put that through there, and that's going to be covered up with for the stitch anyway, so that's okay. And then come back out there. I don't know if you saw, but I did like a little sort of hatch thing here. I'm hoping that's going to work when it comes to doing the final thing. So I need to go like that, so inside this time. There we go. So what crafty projects have you guys got going on at the moment? I'm in between crafty projects. I'm going to get started on Christine's travelling rick-rack project, like I mentioned so many times now. But hopefully I'll be starting that after I'll be doing this a little bit, and I'll talk you through what I'm going to be doing after I finish this. And I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing what I've got to make. But I'll be devoting quite a bit of time to that. But also for my shorter videos, I've been doing some sort of shorter, more tightly edited videos on other days of the week. So I posted one Saturday, about my attempt at shibori that me and Squinks had a go at. And I'm also going to be having a go at some bleach painting. In fact, I have had a go at some bleach painting, and that's going to be hopefully posted in the next few days. But we shall see. It's one of these things. I'm very aware that I keep making promises of I'm going to post this, I'm going to post that, and then things happen. I mean, a couple of weeks ago I went down with quite a bad migraine, and it's lasted quite a long time, so I'm being very careful about doing too many things under bright lights and doing too many things that are on the computer, like editing and things. But unfortunately, it's all got to be done. At some point I'll be able to afford somebody else doing some editing for me. It's part of the reason why I did the Friday Fabric Fumbles was because I wanted to put things out more regularly without having to edit it. But it does mean that I still do have to edit some videos in shorter form, so that it appeals to people who prefer more tightly edited videos and things. I don't know. I'm burbling again. It's a habit of mine, as you know. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be nice to have a bit more more structure for things I want to do, because I want to get on with making more stuff. So I'll come to the end there, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to start on this side, but I'm going to see if I can I'm going to start with this thread, obviously, but see if I can swap halfway through, so we shall see how that goes. And yes, so that needs to go. Oops, so it's which way am I going now? Like that. It's difficult because I've gone from doing the outside to doing the inside. It's a bit of I hope it's not going to be looking like too much of a tangle at the top there, but we shall see. So yeah, what crafting projects have you guys got going on? What crafting projects are you going to be doing over the summer holidays? I'd love to know. I'm going to be trying to schedule more crafty projects I can do with Squinks because they're going to be home for the summer holidays. But also, I'm going to be trying to find out about more crafty things that I can do as well. I've been looking for like retreats and craft centres and things like that, and I've recently found a few, so I'm looking forward to visiting a crafty centre, which I don't know how it is with you guys, but for us here in the UK, you quite often have like craft centres where there's like lots of mini studios all centred around like a cafe or a shopping area, and then that becomes the sort of focus for all these like events and shows and things. But also you can do like classes, and there's a place that I've discovered nearby from watching another YouTuber's video, so that was for Felts by Philippa, and doing wool dyeing, so yarn dyeing, which I think would be really interesting to do. And I have more yarn and wool inspired projects lined up as well. So I'll talk to you about that in a second. I'm just going to get to the end of this little cove here. Now, where do I go here? I need to go... Oopsie daisy. There is a loop in there. Like that. And then I'm going to go under that one. And then loop in there. Like that. And in. So I'm just going to tie those off. Tie this one off, and I'll be back in just a second. So see you in a sec. So yeah, so I'm looking to do like a yarn or wool dyeing workshop with those guys, and I might even try and find some other nearby crafty sessions to have a go at as well, because I want to do more. That's simple as that, really, isn't it? And I do tend to work in isolation. I know I've got the world of lovely YouTubers out there, but everybody works better with well, I don't suppose not everybody, but everybody feels better when they work with a crowd or with other like-minded individuals, don't they? So I think that's what I would like to do. I may be burbling again. If I ever start making sense, you guys will tell me, yeah? Because I'm not entirely sure I do most of the time. Anyway, so starting that, going back up again. I'm going to go underneath there for that one. So you see it's a bit of a mishmash at the bottom, but I kind of like how that's turned out. It's almost like a little woven type thing. So I think I like how that looks. And then back through, oops daisy, trying to catch a previous stitch there, and back we go. So yes, I decided that I wanted to do black on black because I've done an awful lot of colour on this one. I want to just try and have some area where it's more muted, and I'm also going to be using some greys and whites for the petal stitch that I'm going to add onto the outside. I might not get into the petal stitch today. I might have to wait until next week to do that one, but we shall see how we go. In fact, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should do that straight through, and then I'll start on Christine's project afterwards, so that I can make sure that I'm filling up your time with my nonsense. But yes, so what else have I got to talk about? Oh yeah, I mean, I know it's a toy, but I really enjoy also making things with Lego. Now I've got 4 or 5 different like wooden book nooks that I would like to start making. I've got some that were gifts from friends for Christmas and all sorts of other things. But I've also started having a look at some Lego book nooks as well. And I'm thinking of making like a video on just making book nooks because that's what I would like to do. But let me know, would you like to see me do that? It's very tempting because there's a Sherlock Holmes book nook out at the moment, which has lots of Easter eggs and little hidden details and things, and I like that idea. I like having things that are more than just sort of surface level of here's a thing. And I'd like to maybe have a go at doing that for one of my videos. I don't think you guys would like to watch me just doing Lego though, so just let me know if that's the kind of thing that would pique your interest, or would that sound absolutely like the worst thing I could possibly do. I don't think it's the worst thing I could possibly do. There's lots of the worst things, but you know, I don't think it's everybody's sort of particular flavour, as they say. It's not their particular brand. So I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, well, I'm going to think about it anyway, and you'll know once there's a video out about it. And I've got to the end of that bit there, so I'm going to pull that through, and I'm going to just straighten that out there, and then I'm going to start here. I'm going to start on the inside this time, I think. There we go. So, which way do I go on the inside? I'm going to go through there, and then just keep going in that direction. But yeah, it's all go, and I'm trying to make sure that Squinks is entertained over the summer. It's going to be fun, but as they're nearing their GCSEs, one of the GCSEs that's the General Certificate of Secondary Education that we have in England, or in Britain anyway, and that's sort of general basic high school diploma. I suppose you would have that as the equivalent, and they're doing art for their GCSEs, so of course they need as much inspiration as possible, and I know how that goes, so I'm going to spend as much of the summer as I can taking them to different galleries and things. We went to see the Rembrandt exhibition at the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, and if you haven't been to that, or if you haven't been to the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, I highly recommend it. I mean, I know I work for the same trust as them, but they do have some excellent exhibitions at the moment, and there's also some new ideas coming through as well, so it's worthwhile having a quick look on there. And but I went with Squinks and my other half to I've gone the wrong way with that one. Bum. I need to go back the other way. But the good thing about this one is that because it's on the surface, it's not too hard to correct. So I will just correct that, and we shall see what happens. So that goes back through there. And is that better? Yep, that's better. But I've got to be careful about twisting my thread, because otherwise it gets very tight and it doesn't look so good. It's nice, and it looks a lot better with this stitch if you do it nice and loose. But I really like how this one is turning out. But yeah, no, I'm going to be finding lots more galleries and exhibitions and craft centres and things, and trying to fill my time with those things more, because it does sometimes seem like it's filled with labour rather than enjoyment, and I want to start enjoying the things that I know I enjoy, rather than thinking solely about what I need to do for content to get you guys watching, and I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy that as well, because we're all creative souls here, and it's nice to share ideas and to share inspiration, isn't it? That's what I'm saying anyway. Am I burbling again? Please let me know down in the comments. Anyway, so just getting to the first side there, and then I'm going to get to here, and then I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to start going back the other way, that way. I'm not even going to go through, I'm just going to go over the top and make a start on it. So that goes under like that. It's starting to get twisted, so I'm going to have to stretch it out again in a second. Now, the other thing I was going to say was, I'm going to do a video finishing off this one and the quilt I did, and some of the other bits and pieces as well. That's gone through there. Don't go through there. That is not helpful. There we go. But I'm going to do a video on my machine, putting them all together at once. But I've had an idea. Well, I've sort of had an idea for one of the things I want to do with my my little woven fabric pouch, and I'm going to add a strap, like to have as a closer, so it kind of pulls it tight. But one of the things I've mentioned last week, one of the things that's piqued my interest recently, is looking at I'm thinking too much at the same time, at medieval finger loop braiding, and I think that I would like to have a go at making a medieval finger loop strap for it, and I think I'm going to do that. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to just sew this off here before I get onto the next bit of burble. I'll be back in a second. So I'm back again and just tidying that up. Now, yeah, so I've been looking at medieval finger loop braiding, and I would really like to explore that a bit more. I've had a look at a few online videos, YouTube funny enough, and I really like it, but I'm thinking about doing some of that along with my own yarn, to make like a drawstring for my my little woven fabric pouch that I'm still in the middle of making. If you haven't seen medieval finger loop braiding, which I wouldn't be surprised, because it's not something that I've seen much of, it's worth looking up. And I've started having a go at making a few little straps and things, and I'll show you when I get to the end of this stitch here, but just bear with me a second. It's not going to be very long, but yeah, I'm thinking of having a look to see if there's any more books about it or guides about it, so I can take that with me when I'm going on my travels and show you what I'm having a go at. It would be fun. and I am not the kind of person who'd assume that I'd be expert within a couple of days, but it would be nice to try these things out. But yeah, so I mean, I've had a look at some classes and things, and I've seen a class on yarn dyeing that I've now decided that I want to have a go at doing. I think that would be really quite fun, because apart from anything else, I can use it for more of my pin weaving, and then for some actual weaving once I've got myself my loom sorted out. And that is still coming, but I've decided I want to do that in the winter because it's more of a physical task, and I'd like to be cooler rather than hotter when I do it, so I don't pass out from heat exhaustion. Anyway, what do you think of that? I really like how that looks. I think that's worked out really well. So just quickly before I go on to the next bit, I'm going to show you these. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one, and you can see on one side they've got these like little tiny chevrons. I posted a picture to my Facebook page, which is Creepy Cutie Crafty, on both Facebook and on Instagram. But this is my my first attempt at a finger loop braid, and this was using my DMC number 8 Perle, just a double length. And I like these little chevrons, but the really weird thing about this is that it's flat, and I wasn't expecting that. And on the back the pattern is very much different. You can see the sort of weave on it, but that's more evident on this one, which is a much larger yarn that I've used, and you can definitely see this is the back with the zigzag, and this is the front. So because it's loops, you're looping the threads around each other like that, you can see, and that's what creates the patterns. And some people have mentioned it looks very much like finger braid friendship bracelet making. Yeah, it does, but there are even more that I haven't had a go at yet, but this was a very, very basic one. And I was thinking that if I make one of these like this long enough, I can have that as the drawstring for my woven fabric bag, which I think could be quite fun. Anyway, so let me know if you want to see more of that, and I will be continuing to have a go at doing that off screen. Right then, on to the next bit. So I'm just going to tie this bit off, and then we'll come back in a second. See you in a sec. Right, so for the outer heart here, I'm going to have a go at doing my petal stitch that I did before. Just got to be aware that I've got the hem of the bag down here. I am probably going to go beyond that, but I'm not going to worry too much. So again, I'm going for black, but there will be a pop of colour coming in a minute, so just bear with me. I may have done my thread too long again, but you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't do it too long. Anyway, just separating out 3 strands. Come on, come on. You want to separate, come on. So yeah, separating out 3 strands, and this is going to be the outer heart. So I'm going to do the inner hearts. So the outer heart here, the inner heart, I'm going to do in a different colour. But this is going to be the petal stitch that you saw me doing last week, and I'll again post a picture somewhere up here so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's an interesting stitch. It's called a petal stitch, but I think it's more like a feather stitch. It looks more like a feather. Bear with me a second whilst I sort my thread out, which doesn't want to go through the needle threader. Just bear with me. Come on, behave yourself. Yay! And you. So yeah, I'm aware that quite often I make very grand plans and then wind up doing not very much of those plans, but I am trying to streamline things an awful lot more. And there's an awful lot more that I actually do want to get done, so going to keep going with it and making sure that I enjoy myself rather than just doing it because I should. But that's the main thing, isn't it? So right, so we'll start at the top over here, and then as you've seen before, it's going to be a back stitch followed by a sort of chain stitch, which I'm going to send out that away. And then in, and again I'm at the bottom of the bag, so having to try and get to the thing is quite fun. And then doing that underneath there. And then, oops, back stitch. Back in there and out. I'm not going to worry about keeping these all the same length because I want them to be a little bit, stay with me, higgledy-piggledy. Anyway, I've just realised the boo-boo I've made. I've put this on the outside of my hoop stand, so it's going to keep catching, and it has caught a few times already. Fortunately, it's not broken any of the threads, but it's not ideal. And I'm going to make the next few a little bit longer. So back in, bring the stitch that way. So yeah, I posted my not sashiko, what's the word? Shibori video last Saturday, and I think Squinks and I are still planning what we're going to be doing with that next. I have an idea for a bag design that I want to have a go at. It's more of the designs that I didn't get a chance to try out when I did that video. But make sure that you tune in, make sure that you subscribe so you can see what happens when I do those. I think it's going to be fun. Just realised these petals look a little bit like bulrushes, don't they? I think that could be a fun thing to... Oops, I'm on the wrong side of that stitch there. There we go. And then back in there. And out. But yeah, I mean, I've got all the creative things going on at the moment, and I'm trying to make sure that I use up my stash of supplies, which I've been collecting lots and lots of things for lots of projects. Some of the projects which I've been able to actually get started, and some which I haven't. So I definitely need to start working through my projects so that I can get things done. It'd be nice to have more in the pipeline than I've got at the moment, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of my ideas with you, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing them. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best to sort of destashify, as they say, but unfortunately my friends who know that I'm very much into crafting have very evilly sent me some links to reclaimed material sites. So there's one called Renee Materials, which I'm going to be looking at some point soon, because they do like reclaimed textiles, reclaimed fabric, card, paper, and all sorts of things. But yeah, I mean, it's so tempting to just go, right, well, I'll buy this just because. And I have done a lot of buying just because many times. but I really do want to start using my stash, my collection much more, and I want to start buying less stuff, because I think we all need to start buying less stuff, don't we? It's part of the modern condition, as they say. If you're not buying things that you don't need for your home, like commodities and things, it's very easy to buy craft equipment and craft supplies for projects that you've got in your head, but you keep getting distracted and thinking, well, I keep getting distracted and thinking about all the other things I want to do, and then you wind up not doing those things. But I have a ton of things I want to get done, so I need to focus, and I need to make sure that I don't buy anything new, so that I can actually focus on the things I need to do. Like I say, I'm starting this braiding, this medieval finger loop braiding, but I'm also very aware that I can't start an entire new crafty process when I've still got about 14 projects lined up and waiting just over there. I mean, it's as all of you crafters out there will know, it's very easy to just go, oh well, I'll just buy this just in case, I'll just buy that just in case, and then you've got lots of just in case objects that don't go anywhere, and then they just gather dust or they get in the way, and then you're wondering why you bought them, what you bought them for, because you've forgotten by the time you get to it. Again, I'm talking about me, not just about everybody. But at the same time, it's also nice to have things available for when you do get idea and do get inspiration. So I mean, this the medieval finger loop braiding, I started it just because it looked interesting, and you know, I now have some ideas of what I want to use it for, but I've got to make sure that I use it for something, not just I'm doing it because I want to find out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it just because you want to find out, but and you know, there's nothing wrong with doing things just for the fun of it. But at the same time, I also have to be aware that I've got to be focused sometimes. But you know, I may be bubbling again. Am I bubbling again? I think I am. Anyway, so yes, that's looking pretty good to me, and I think I'm going to do a much larger sort of blue and then white one on the inside. So it's going to be sort of 3 layers of feathers, like I did before on the thing, but I think it's going to look interesting once it's done. It's a bit awkward doing it on here because it's not the most comfortable of positions with the frame, but such is life. I can live with it, and I'm sure you guys can live with it too. I've just got to make sure I keep finding that hole for the getting into the bag. So what have we got next? So yeah, I'm starting to plan my next few projects. As I say, I've got the Creative and Craft with Christine, the Happy Mail bundle that I need to get through, and I'm starting that this week, so keep your eye out for that. I was going to try and start it on this episode of my Friday fabric fumble, but as I say, I've been having printer problems and I need the printer for what I'm going to be doing because I've got a particular pattern in mind. But it will be starting, and it will be getting done, well, getting on the way very soon, so please keep your eye out for that one. There we go. But yeah, so I've got that coming, and I'm also going to get started on my crazy quilted stockings for my nieces and my niece and my nephew. it should be fun. So keep your, it's a Christmas stocking, as I've mentioned before. Anybody who does crafting knows you don't leave Christmas crafting to Christmas, because you just run out of time. That's the way it always is, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to be starting that. It's going to be a crazy quilt type project, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be sort of mishmash bag part 2, but a little bit more focused, I hope. And I'm hoping to start using my sewing machine for more of these projects as well. I do like doing hand sewing, but when I need to get something finished off and I need to get it looking sort of semi-professional, finishing it off on the machine is a good idea. Anyway, so, yes. What do you think of that so far, guys? I like how that's looking. But it's a bit of a squiddly one, but I like it. I've also, as I said, I've been doing the shibori, and I've been doing the tie-dye and things, and hopefully in the next few days I'll be posting my bleach painting videos as well, because that's something that I've been having a go at. It's an interesting process. I'm hoping it's going to turn out okay. I've still got a few more little bits and pieces to do, but yeah, like I say, make sure you like and subscribe and all those things so you can keep an eye on what I'm doing. Oh, that's not a good sign. I think I may have sewn it to itself. Back in a second. Yeah, I sewed it to itself underneath. That's not a good thing to do. Oh well, such is life. Just gonna rethread. I do try to do 2 different tasks on my Friday fabric fumbles, but sometimes if things go awry, I'm afraid you're going to have to let me bore you for a bit on just the one task. Do you prefer it with just the one task, or do you prefer 2, or what kind of layout do you prefer? It's always good to know your opinions, because I want to make sure that I'm making stuff that pleases you, that gets you engaging. And I'm also posting pictures of the things I've done on my Facebook and on my Instagram, so that I can share works in progress. I've seen this thing that people do on Facebook and Instagram. It's their whips, their works in progress, which I think is fascinating. So it's seeing how things are developing before they've developed, and it's always fun to follow along with what people are creating, because some people are so genius level of creativity, in my humblest opinions. But yes, so I'm afraid it's going to be all black on today's video, because that's all I'm going to have time for, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what else have we got going on? Yeah, and after my bleach painting video, obviously, I'm going to be starting on my gold work project, which I've also been looking forward to doing for a long time. And yeah, so I'm going to be having a go with my kit, and then I'm going to be starting making something. I've still got the doll remake in the pipeline, but yeah, it's whether or not I do the gold work icon or the gold work as part of the doll remake that I've got planned remains to be seen, because again, time. It's just one of the things, isn't it? It's like I've got a very busy life, a lot busier than maybe even I realise, because I work and look after my child and do all these things as well. But and that's just how life is. I'm just gonna refresh my thread there. Back in a second. Oops, a daisy. Looks like that got a bit squiddled over there. So let's see if I can straighten that out. So yep, hello, welcome back again. I have new thread, and still trying to work out what I'm talking about. Anyway, so of course, one of the things about doing it at the very bottom of the bag like this is I'm trying not to get it caught on itself, but it's trying to curve over itself, because that's what the point of the bag where that's most likely to happen, which is fun to work with. But yes, I don't like to make things easy on myself, as well you know. So yeah, I'm going to be starting on the goldwork project, which is again something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I don't know if I want to work on the gold work on this doll remake, because I think the doll remake may be a little bit too small. I mean, I do still want to have a go at doing a doll remake, but I have something in mind for it, but I don't know quite what I'm planning on doing. But once I've done my my goldwork video, my goldwork kit video, I'll have more of an idea. This is the thing, is like you have to have sort of nebulous ideas, sorry, because you know things change, and things happen, things keep happening. That's just how it is, and you've got to work out what you're learning and how. Done it again. So yeah, sorry about that. I had a bit of a tangle there, and I got myself stitched up behind again. Got my finger on the edge of the fold in the fabric now, so hopefully I won't be catching myself again. But yeah, so I mean, one of the points about my videos and my YouTube life at the moment is that I'm learning stuff. So I'm learning how to do black work, I'm learning how to do gold work, I'm learning how to do embroidery in general, and there's some other projects and things that I'm going to be coming back to learn other things about them. So how to use my sewing machine, how to use my just what I've got, learning how to do spinning, learning how to do weaving, all these bits and pieces. And as well as learning how to do these things, I'm trying to use them to create a thing once I've got a reasonable, practical knowledge of them. But I want to make sure that whatever I'm going to be using them for is appropriate. So I want to do the gold work kit, and then do my gosh, I'm having all the problems here today. And then doing the plans for the doll remake. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I need to know that what I want to do is actually doable first. So working out what I need to know about gold work from doing the practice kit. So yeah, and I have a doll all lined up, a second-hand Monster High doll that Squinks has kindly loaned to me from their collection. They somehow got a duplicate of a particular doll, so they decided to give it to me to do stuff with. But I don't want to waste it, because again, it's a resource, and yeah, I want to make sure that if I do gold work on it, or if I do black work or whatever else, that it's an appropriate use for that thing. because I want to make sure that whatever I make is worth making. Not that I'm thinking that I'm some grand creator who knows exactly what they're doing, but I think I would like to have a go at doing a doll remake, because I've seen so many amazing doll artists on YouTube and elsewhere that I think is something that's piqued my interest, same as so many other crafts also piqued my interest, unfortunately. But yes, but it is all coming. It's just a case of time and money and health as well, unfortunately, in my case. If my health manages to hold for long enough for me to make a good series of videos, that's always a bonus, isn't it? Talking of, making and creating, if you remember, a couple of years ago I was doing an exhibition down in Croydon of crafty things. So people were like, it was called the Hobby Cave. It's called Come As You Really Are, aka the Hobby Cave, in Croydon. And there's another leg of that exhibition, show that is now going to be showing at a gallery very near me. So if you're in the Wolverhampton area over this summer, make sure to come down and have a look, because that's where the next leg of Come As You Really Are, aka the Hobby Cave, is going to be showing. And hopefully, well, I've been accepted to show some of my stuff as part of that, but also maybe I'll be demonstrating how to do some stitching or some other bits and pieces. So that could be fun. That could be a fun thing to have a go at. And it's also a good way to meet people, because people are always more interested in stuff that they've seen others hand make, or they've had a go at hand making themselves. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, make sure that you keep an eye out for that one. And when I know more details, I will also be putting some more pictures and more press information and whatever else you guys will need up on my Facebook, but also on Instagram, and also here on YouTube. So yeah, keep your eye out for that one. And if you're going to that exhibition, or if you've been accepted for the Come As You Really Are exhibition, let me know down in the comments. Right, so I think that's as far as I'm going to be able to get for today's episode. I will be returning to the Happy Mail project from Creating Craft with Christine next week, once I've worked out what's going on with my printer. But yes, it's all coming, and I hope you enjoy what you're seeing so far. If you've liked what you've seen, please let me know down in the comments. And whilst you're there, remember to do a like and subscribe and all those little things that help a channel like mine to grow. I'm getting there, but slowly. And yes, I would love to have more time to do more of these bits and pieces. It sounds like I'm moaning, doesn't it? But I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. It's just same as everybody. I just wish I had more time. But doesn't everybody? We all want to have more time to do the things we really love doing, don't we? Definitely. Absolutely. 100%. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. So, like I say, if you enjoyed what you've seen, please let me know down in the comments. And yeah, make sure you subscribe so you can see what happens with this next week. And at the end of the video, I will also be posting this as it looks at the end, when it's finished. I'm going to try and do the black layer, and then maybe the second layer, and then I'll save the white layer, the inner layer, until next week's video, so you can see how that turns out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'll see you next week, and thanks again, and bye bye.